This is where we keep the horses. Normally the horses would come greet us as we're entering the farm, but we haven't seen Jed yet, so hoping for the best. Let's go look for Jed. So today we're in Arkansas. About a year ago I did a video where I covered the family farm. Today we're back for an update because I've got a lot of questions from people who asked for updates. I don't have my brother-in-law who was in the last video, and if you haven't watched that video, please go back and give it a watch. But I have my brother here with me who's also been helping keeping the farm together. So let's kind of work with him, talk to him, and let's see how's the family farm doing 1 year later. Hi, Greg.
This is Greg. How you doing?
Yeah, so we're just gonna go through it. We're gonna check on the farm, see how things are doing. We're gonna try to catch up with all the cattle and go down and check on one of the other farms and see how the farm is looking.
So the first thing we got to do is go find the cows. They're in the middle pasture. We're finna head that way.
Okay, so it's the middle of the day. It's really bright out here. It's a beautiful day. It's about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And we just found the cows. They're doing what cows do best, which is lounge, kind of lay around after eating. You know, my dad told me when I was young that farmers don't raise cattle, they raise grass. He was a beef cattle farmer. And so he poured a lot of energy into maintaining his pastures and raising grass. My brother Greg and my brother-in-law have now taken over this responsibility for the family, and they're keeping the family farm going. And the first thing we see as we get up on the farm is the calves. And it's really great because the calves are sitting with the bull and one of the mama cows. So typically with this herd, we've always had this experience where one mama cow during the day would keep all of the calves from all of the different moms, and they're sitting over by the bull. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now I'm looking at one of these calves. This is a calf with her mother in the back here. But this calf, based on her size, she's only gonna be a few days old, maybe about a week. What are your thoughts, Greg?
About a week old.
Yeah, about a week old. If you can see this little calf laying down here on the ground, she is really young. I'm saying it's a girl, could be a little boy. We're gonna kind of keep a distance a little bit, not get too close. We don't want to distract them, disturb them. So my dad worked with this farm for about 30 years, and this same herd of cattle for about 30 years. And unfortunately, before he died, he got sick. And because he has such a strong connection to this herd of cattle and to this farm, a lot of the animals and the cattle and the cows actually got sick as well. And as his health deteriorated, we saw it reflected in the herd.
When my dad passed, there was a real big discussion about should we let the farm go or should we continue the legacy and keep the cows going. And so I felt very strongly about keeping the cows. It's something I've done all my life. I was born doing it, and hopefully one day I'll die doing the same thing my dad doing, enjoying his cows on the farm. All right, here's a little bull. He was over here just, you know, being curious about what we're doing over here, but that's a bull. They're curious by nature. That's just, they are what they are, and the knucklehead boys, they're gonna be mischievous.
Yeah, I can agree with Greg on that because when I was running my farm, we had a bull, and he would, if you left anything in the pasture, he had to go and check it out. Flip it over, turn it around, poke on it. He's just very, very, very active. You get that with a lot of bulls. And some of the heifer cows as well, they could be that way, but definitely little bulls, they tend to be a much more, not aggressive. I haven't found animals, cattle, to be very aggressive. Not the ones that I've raised, not the ones here on this farm. A lot of it has to do with how the animals are trained, how they're cared for, and how you treat them from birth. And if you treat them with respect and dignity, they tend to treat you the same way.
I want my boys to, and my girls, to both carry on the legacy. The farm doesn't just have to be just males. I had a sister, she helped haul hay, helped with the cows. But I do want my children, both males and females, to carry on the legacy and keep it going. My philosophy on cows is feed them when they're hungry, leave them alone when they're not. Keep them plenty of grass to eat, and they are happy. All right, the farm sits in South Arkansas. It's 60 acres, 2 natural springs, 2 ponds, sectioned off into 3 large sections, and a barn at the central house. It's just a nice little property to raise some cows on. All right, we have another family farm down the road from here. It's about 35 acres. That's where we keep the horses at. I have noticed that one of my horses have been missing, and so we're gonna go check it out, see if we can find where he's at. This is Cleopatra, my mare I have. She's about 4 or 5 years old. I've got her when she was only a couple of years old. This is one of my friend's horses, friend of the family. She needed a place to put a horse, so we brought her down here to keep Cleopatra company. The horse we're looking for is Jed right now. He's about a 10, 15-year-old gelding, and so that's who we're gonna go looking for.
Hey Cleopatra, how are you doing? I don't remember you being this friendly. You weren't this friendly the last time I was here. One of Greg's horses has been missing for several days. No one has seen him. This is about a 35-acre farm. It's broken into about 2 or 3 sections. It's not too much. It's not a good sign that we haven't seen him yet. It's not a good sign that as we pull up, normally as we come up on the farm, all the animals would come up. So this is where we keep the horses. Normally the horses would come greet us as we're entering the farm, but we haven't seen Jed yet. So hoping for the best. Let's go look for Jed.
Piece of petrified wood right here.
What is that again?
It's petrified wood from an old tree from a million years ago. Just turned to stone. Just like a fossil. It is a fossil.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we used to collect these back when we were kids. We'd play with these all the time. We'd go and collect them. We'd dig them up. Small. This is a smaller piece. It's kind of hard to make it out, but yeah, you can kind of see a little of the wood grain here, but this is a piece of petrified wood. I have to keep this and take it home with me.
Anyway, I don't know.
We're trying to follow his tracks, but at the same time, there are 2 other horses down here right now, Cleopatra and the other horse. So we can't really follow tracks. This backside of the farm is about 15, 20 acres. We've been stomping around there for a little while. Still no sign of Jed, which is not a good thing. He could have escaped, could have hopped the fence, but Jed's been living on this farm for about 10 years. So he's never left before. It doesn't seem likely that he would decide to just up and take off.
They could come over here and stare at each other across the fence. You can see from all the droppings, the trails up in here, how it's just deep down. They just love this.
Okay, so at the back side of the farm, at an area where the horses like to come, and Greg just said, hang out with the neighboring horses who live on the farm on the other side of the fence here. They come and they kind of, I guess they talk, commune, talk about horse things. This is where Jed normally would be if we don't find him. So what do you think? Down around the...
Might be down around the creek.
Down around the creek?
Yeah. Might be
All right, let's go walk down the creek bank and see if we can find him at the creek. For Greg and I, this farm has a lot of memories. We actually, when we were kids, we fenced this farm up. My dad bought it. It's 35 acres. It was clear cut. There were no trees out here back then. Very few down in the crevices, but most of these trees are younger. And we, along with my dad, fenced up this 35-acre farm. There's a lot of memories here. Okay, so we've been riding around out here for about an hour looking for Jed. We walked and we rode, and unfortunately, we started to have an idea of what we would come up on, and we actually have found what we thought we'd find. And Jed has gone on to meet his maker. It's a little sad. Greg's pretty upset about it. You know, he had Jed for about 10 years. Jed was about 15 years old. But I can say this, for the last 10 years, Jed's been very well taken care of. He's had this whole farm to roam around, him and Cleopatra and another couple of the horses. He's lived a really good horse life. But we did find Jed, and now we're going to take care of a burial process to take care of his remains and everything. But yeah, we found Jed. Okay, so there is a darker side to farming sometimes. Things are a little sad. You know, as you farm, as you raise animals, you get attached to these animals. But at the same time, that nature does carry its course, and it takes its course. So we still have Cleopatra. We have another horse out here with Cleopatra. Greg may pick up another horse now as we continue to move on through the circle of life. But we did find Jed. All right, so unfortunately though, our work here on the farm is not done. We've been told that there are some potential areas where there's some breaks in the fence, and now we're gonna go check that out to see if we can find those areas where there are breaks in the fence and see if that's a major concern, an issue we need to work on and address while we're here as well.
I knew when Jed passed away, he was gonna find a place to lay down in the shade, and he was an old horse. He wasn't a young horse when I got him, and he's been out to pasture. He's lived a good life. He got to just roam around, but unfortunately, the work is not done yet. We still have to do some fence checking and make sure everything, the perimeter is still good, make sure nobody's able to get out and nothing that we don't want getting in.
Farming isn't easy. It's long hours, it's late nights, it's a hard chore. It's really not easy. But the reason we farm and our family is for family. For us, it's all about family. It's about that next generation, about continuing to provide a place for them to exist and live and thrive, a place where they always know that they belong. In a fast-paced world that gets faster day by day, the farm provides a place to stop, slow down, and just relax. A place where family can exist, a place where love can happen, a place where we can be who we want to be. And so, we lost Jed. And that does hurt, but the farm endures.